I've traversed across seas and land, conversed with perfect strangers in search of perfect man. When immersed in one's truth, you come to understand that we all have a limited scope of God's plan. And what's worse is great minds come far, and in between it's like the universe dispersed us like steam. Probably because the human race isn't worthy of such a merge, because everything we touch there's a tendency to pervert. At first, I loved our advancements in technology until we utilized it maliciously. I remember the older heads said technology was the devil. I think they understood mankind on a deep level, because it's been said you must know your enemy well, even if that enemy is yourself. Because due to the madness that dwells in your bodily realm, in due time you're a shell withholding bodily hell. And I don't mean to talk in circles, but I must revert to what I said previous about perversion. Be careful whose truth you turn to, or end up like Malcolm X and find a revelation that burns you with shotguns held by your own sons blasted. I guess you should be careful of the truth you turn from. And information, take it with a grain of salt. That's not just my advice, that's a rule of thumb. And you can put the bank on it. I bet your last crumb you're an outcast if you don't walk to the same drum or speak with the same tongue to spew the same rhetoric. Eventually they want you to breathe from the same lungs, and that's brainwashing. Take caution, be your own guardsman. Yeah, it's beautiful, but there's snakes in that garden. No, don't beg my pardon. I don't tell you what you want to hear. I tell you the truth. No jogging, because I've traversed across space and time and bore witness to the parsing particles of the collective mind. Developed my philosophies, adopted most of them, because who am I to think that my thoughts are worth something? Plus, I'd rather be wise than religious, because I've heard truth seep through the teeth from those considered ignorant. The street scholars who originate from tenements. The street walkers who sell their bodies legitimate. Shit, everything's for Benjamins now. The televangelists want you to prove your faith via checking account. So who is there to blame? The sheep or the sheep herders? The families for raising sheep instead of meat soldiers? Or the neighbors who notice the change in them, but it's protocol nowadays to mind your own business? Because getting involved is the equivalent to snitching, and we'd rather be alone and perish from our own addictions. So who's with them? Follow a true vision. The sign of a visionary is one who pursues true wisdom. Getting past my own bullshit and deal with it, because, you know, lying to myself weakens my immune system. Fucker, you in the same boat. Man, you don't believe your own quotes, and that's why you chain smoke. You can't cope with that war inside. You see, it bleeds through one way or another. You must like to suffer.